Hey guys, thank you for tuning into this episode of PolytoneTV. My name is Brandon Karazinski, coming at you with another music review. And today we're actually going to be doing something a little different. We're actually going to be looking at a band who's actually from my area, from the Lehigh Valley music scene. That's where I'm from around. Lehigh Valley music scene represent. And this is actually a band called I Hate Heroes. Now, I Hate Heroes is a band that recently formed. I think they're a 6-piece band, and they've been around for I think a little less than a year now, so they're pretty much brand new to the scene, and they've been gaining a lot of mileage lately. And about a month ago, they put out their brand new EP titled "If Life Were a Book, I'd Skip This Chapter." And so today I'm going to be taking a look at that EP and doing a full track-by-track breakdown of it. And the EP is 6 tracks, so let's take a look. Now, the EP opened up with a track titled "Deception." Now, this was the first song that the band had actually put out prior to the EP's release, just to gain some hype and some excitement for the release and get fans interested. And when I first heard the song, I definitely liked it. It was definitely a great song, and I thought it would fit very well as the opening track to this EP. I liked the start of the song, where it started off with some cleans, which had some real catchy, really nice sounding vocal runs, and then it transitioned into kind of the more fast-paced, aggressive scream vocals, and then it resolved back to more of a catchy anthemic chorus. So this song was definitely a good, I'd say, definitive stamp of the type of band that I Hate Heroes are, which kind of reminds me of sounds like A Day to Remember, Memphis Mayfire, Crown the Empire. And I thought that this was a really great opening track, and yeah, we'll move on to the next one. One of my favorite tracks on the EP was actually track number 2, and that's a song called "Cut Your Losses." Now, back in the day when I Hate Heroes was actually a solo project by their singer Ephraim, this song was actually originally released acoustically. Now, it was really a fun, interesting song to listen to at first acoustically, because it was a song that was meant to be a full band, and that's what I liked so much about it. So I was really happy and really excited to see that this track made the cut back onto the EP, and I thought it was really cool that it was reintroduced as reintroduced with the full new brand new lineup, because I thought it gave the track new life. Personally speaking, because I heard the track back when it was an acoustic track back in the day, I personally liked the acoustic version first, just simply because it was just so different hearing a full band song being played on acoustic guitars. But I really liked that this song was brought back to the EP, and I liked the new life that was put into it. So good job on that one. Track number 3 on the EP was a song titled "Ambulance." Now, "Ambulance" was definitely an interesting song on this EP for me, because it opened up with kind of a fast-paced, catchy acoustic riff that went on into full band, which was really cool, because I was hearing the song and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be an acoustic kind of song, but then it transitioned into something like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. And overall, I thought the track was really cool. It was just kind of a fun, lighthearted type of song with the screams. It was kind of like a bit of a happy hardcore, kind of like a mix between like a lighter Day to Remember with like a heavier 4 Year Strong. Think a sound of that nature. So that was a good track for me. Track number 4 was a song titled "Confliction." Now, there was actually 2 releases of this song for the EP. There was one mix, so it kind of went more uniform with the rest of the EP, but then there was an alternative mix which kind of had some more technological elements that were thrown into it, that were brought more to the forefront of the track, rather than it just being kind of more the background ambience to it. And overall, this song was solid, but to be honest, it was probably my least favorite on the EP. Not that it's not a solid track, it's just one of those songs where I just wasn't wild about it. I just couldn't really get too into it. And, it had some good things going for it. It's one of the more aggressive tracks on the EP. It's a little more heavier with the screams and some catchiness to the chorus. But overall, this one, of all the other songs that are on the EP, this one just didn't stand out to me. And not that it's a bad thing. It's just one of those songs where I just wasn't too wild about it. But I acknowledge that it's a solid track. Track number 5 was a song called "My Constant," and this was a good song. I really liked this one because this was a full acoustic ballad kind of track, and I really liked it because I feel like it really showcased the singer's range and just the lyrics that he put into the track. It also helps that I have kind of a bias towards more acoustic tracks because I just love the sound of it, and it kind of reminded me of him singing with the acoustic. Actually, kind of reminded me of kind of like Hans Ollie Good from Woe Is Me when he would do acoustic tracks for the band, and that's the type of vibe I was getting off of it. I thought the song was really well written, and I thought that the vocals sounded really good with it, so that was definitely one of my favorites on the EP, so good work on that one. The last track of the EP, track 6, was a song called Sincerely Part 2. Now, some of you may be wondering, what's the Part 2 for? Sincerely Part 2 is a follow-up track to the original Sincerely Part 1, or just simply titled Sincerely, off of the band's EP, their last EP titled Avarice, and that was back when the band was still a 4-piece. Now, Sincerely Part 2, to focus on it, it started off with some piano, and I was getting really pumped. I'm like, yes, I love piano tracks, and I thought that this was going to go more to piano ballad route because Sincerely was more of a ballad track. It was an acoustic ballad, but Sincerely Part 2 was starting off with the piano, and then it just went into some vicious, fast-paced, full band, aggressive kind of track. And it was another one of those tracks, much like Ambulance, where I'm like, I didn't see that coming. Now, as much as I love piano tracks, and in some cases I would be kind of bummed, like, oh man, this isn't going to be a piano track, this is going to be just a fast-paced full band song. But it actually worked for me. I actually really liked the transition. I liked that it had that surprise and the twist to it. And overall, the track just sounded really good. I thought the lyrics were really great to it, and the vocals sounded really great on it as well. So, great way to close out the EP. Overall, I thought that this EP was really good. I personally really liked it, and my only true critique that I really have for this EP overall, and this isn't even necessarily the band's fault, this is more of just a technical thing that I'm looking at, because I listen for everything. I mean, yeah, these reviews, I like to focus them more on the songwriting, as far as like the structure, the arrangement of things, as well as the lyrics too, and just how everything sounds. But the one thing that kind of took away from the EP a little bit overall was I wasn't a fan of the mix of the record, and I'm not sure who they worked with personally for this EP, but I wasn't too wild about some things. I mean, sometimes that's just the thing with bands. Sometimes they have like good tracks and everything, but sometimes the balance of having the quality of the songs with the balance of the production, sometimes it's a difficult thing, and that's totally understandable, especially when you're a young band yet. But I think if you put this band with more well-rounded producers in their sound, because I'm just thinking of all different types of producers that would go well with this band. Like if you put them with a producer like Andrew Wade, who's been present working on the A Day to Remember records, or even Joey Sturgis, who's worked with Chunk No Captain Chunk, I think that they could definitely crank out something really great around those lines. But this was a great EP to start off for a young band. Overall, I'm going to give this EP an 8 out of 10. I think this was a good start for them. This was the first release that they've ever had with the brand new lineup they have, the whole 6-piece lineup. And the fact that they put out a release like this so soon into their tenure as a band, it was just really impressive for me, because some bands, it could take them years to really start to gel and have a solid foundation. But I think that these guys definitely have a whole lot of room to grow. I think there are two huge strengths that this band definitely has. One, I'd say, is that they're very solid in their sound. This is a sound that's just been around, and it works for a lot of bands, and it's well known and it's liked, and it's just a good foundation for the band to have this sound, because there's a lot that can be done with it if executed correctly. And also, the other second big strength that they definitely have for a band of their status, who is just starting to get more well known, is that they have two very strong vocalists. I think that the balance between their singer and their screamer are just really great. I think that the singer has a great voice, and between the runs and also being able to put out kind of anthemic chorus sound, and also the contrast with their screamer, who is kind of more brutal, kind of more vicious sounding with his screams. And I think just having that balance and that contrast is just really good, and I think that's essential for a young band to have, as far as like having strong vocalists, because I think that's what fans and audience members really listen for these days, just who's going to be the voice of the band, and I think they definitely have two strong voices to carry them. So great job to I Hate Heroes on this EP, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video and seeing what I had to say about the brand new I Hate Heroes EP. There will be a new music review coming out a week from today. Again, I'm still undecided as to what it is that I'm going to be reviewing, but I will be posting an update about that very soon. You can just follow me on my on Twitter, and you should be able to hear about it from there, or Instagram as well, which you could follow at the end of the credits of this video. So stay tuned for more. Comment on the video. Let me know what you have to say about my critiquing style. Subscribe to the channel, and from me to you, from PolytoneTV, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.